Point Series 83, we got woman, daughter, sister. Are you truly more valuable in the eyes of man or God? When you take a look at 1 Kings chapter 20, verses 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, do the wives and children seem that important? What about the ones that aren't considered the best? Understand, if you're a female and not considered the best, especially within a world, your country, your state, your city, your county, your workplace, your school, your home, or even within your mind, how important will you be when a situation like this happens? Does this remind you of any other passage of scripture? Go ahead, take some time, think. You can pause it. And have you come up with anything yet? How about Genesis chapter 29? As we take a look at verse 17, and Leah's eyes were weak, but Rahel was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. And Jacob loved Rahel, so he said, "Let me serve you 7 years for Rahel, your younger daughter." Wait a second, isn't that demonstrating self-control? What do you truly want? Do you only date people that meet your standards? In Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 19, and she increased her horns, remembering the days of her youth, when she whored in the land of Mizraim. And she lusted after her lovers, whose flesh is like the flesh of donkeys, and whose emission is like the emission of horses. Doesn't this also demonstrate self-control? Only going after what you're lusting after, or a certain type of emission? In comparison to humans, doesn't this means that they're bigger? In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, but because of whoring, let each one have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. This is in verse 2. It says to have your own. That's practicing self-control. In verse 9, but if they do not have self-control, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. Isn't lusting similar to burning? Also in Job chapter 1, verse 10, the things that you accumulate and have, even your spouse, can be used against you to try to get you to get away from God and disobey Him, influence you to become a non-believer. But as we also see in verse 9 of chapter 20 in 1 Kings, there are some things that are more important to males than their wives.